Today, we are going to do an author spotlight on Nicky Drayden, one of my favorite authors. I've read every single novel that she's published. I need to go find a lot of the short fiction that she has, and I thought today would be a fun time for me to talk about her as an author, the things I think she does well, things I notice as trends in her work, and briefly go through the 4 novels she has out to maybe get you guys to try and pick up some of her stuff, because she is a vastly underrated author, and I mean that in terms of not many of her books get ratings on Goodreads, and I don't know why. I think they are so compelling, they are short, they are page turners. So we're going to get into it. So Nicky Drayden herself, she is from Texas. She is a African-American woman and is, during the day, a systems analyst, is what she says on her website. And she has on her website, the quote is speculative fiction with a twist. And a lot of her work is very genre bendy, and some would describe it as new, weird, and I can confirm, having read all 4 of her books, things get weird. She really is pushing the envelope on certain things and genres, and most of the time, the things that get pushed for me the furthest is my comfort level with some of the imagery and some of the situations and circumstances and just the stuff going on. And like I said, very genre bendy, like there is sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and just weird things. Her imagination is phenomenal. So I figure I'll go through her 4 books in publication order, and then I'll talk about some of the trends at the end of the video. First up, we got The Prey of Gods. This was the first one that I read by Nicky Drayden. I think this is the one with the highest name recognition or notoriety. I mean, it has 3,000 ratings. So this is the highest rated. Well, I think technically a different one has a higher rating, but the average rating is 3.78 with 3,000 ratings. I gave this 4 stars. It's probably actually closer to a 4.5 star on my scale now, but when I rated it back then, I wasn't using half stars, I don't think. I don't know. My memory of it a year after reading it is still a 4.5 star read. This one is a near future sci-fi fantasy that takes place in South Africa. And what happens is you meet a bunch of point of view characters, and all of a sudden, basically things happen. It's really hard to describe. This book contains AI revolutions. It contains gods living among the people and wanting vengeance and power. It contains a coming of age story. And at the same time all of this is happening, there's a drug on the market that makes everyone really connect with their weirdly godlike genetics. It's like I said, her ideas are so weird. The thing about this book that I loved the most was how compulsively I wanted to read it. It read like a bingeable TV show. I was picking it up and I was meeting these characters who are all flawed but really vibrant and interesting. I was always really captivated by the characters in this book, and I just wanted to know what would happen next. We have a politician with a secret that was really fun. Like I said, we have the coming of age story with this kid. We have this old god on the ground, and then in the midst of it, we do have this young child supernatural figure that we know is powerful, but we don't know what's up. And then, like I said, there's AI tech, everything. So I love genre blending. I thought this really captured my engagement there. The ending got a little weird, as is, as you'll note, a trend with her works, but I actually think this might be one of my favorite endings of all of her works. I did actually appreciate some of the things she's did with it and things that I had seen in other stories with what she was doing, but I had a blast with that one, and I just think, what a book to start your writing career with. And she continues with Temper. This one only has 639 ratings with an average rating of 3.55. And so Temper is the one I read most recently. I read that in December, and I actually have a vlog where I go into it relatively in depth because I read it in a read a book in 24 hours sort of challenge thing. It's a great book to read when you need to read a book in a short period of time because, like I said, her books, page turners, absolute page turners. This book is so full of twists that I don't know what genre or age group to give it. When you start reading it, it feels like Divergent, Hunger Games, dystopian YA sci-fi. This is an alternate future South Africa, so it's not our timeline, and we're in the future, so there is tech. And kind of how society works is kind of this mystical quality as well. Again, genre blendy. Definitely some themes about gods and bigger powers at play. But here you have twins, and the twins between the two have their virtues split. So there are 7 virtues and vices. So someone gets 4 virtues and 3 vices and vice versa. And because of this, the one with more virtues is the the better twin, the greater twin, and the other one's the lower. But they have to live near each other, so the way they build their societies to allow twins to live near each other, but still have this hierarchy of better and lower. Fascinating. So, really cool society. And you start this book, you get the perspective of a twin that has 6 vices, so really kind of unlucky, and you're following their perspective. And I can't say much more. It just has so many twists and turns. It changes genre so many times, but in a fun way, and it's very dark. It has some horrific stuff. It's definitely cold. It's a good like winter read because it's during this solstice period. And yeah, this is one where I think it was pushing the envelope the most in terms of what I was able to handle my main character doing and understanding what was happening. And again, I think because it is such a fast, pretty like short book, I think it's only 400 pages, I didn't get quite the thematic payoff that I would have wanted with the end of the book, but I still had a blast. And the next 2 we'll talk about kind of together is the Escaping Exodus duology, and I read these in the middle. So I went Prey of Gods, Escaping Exodus, Symbiosis, Temper. That's how I read them. And like Temper, I really love the societies in Escaping Exodus. I have a review on this duology if you want more than what I'm about to say in a few minutes, but this is far future, humans surviving in space on Space Beast because we have damaged our Earth, so presumably hundreds of years ago we escaped. And our current system is to parasitically live on a Space Beast. And it's about transitioning from one beast to another through the eyes of the future heir. And basically figuring out what is and is not sustainable about this system, her relationships with her friend who is in a different caste than her. Oh, I love it. I loved the messiness of the characters. I think the characters for me in this duology are the strongest or the most vibrant in my head. Like when I think about them, I think about, oh yeah, this one's really reckless and trying to be free and she's really privileged and that comes across, and this other one's just like only identified by her job because that's the only thing she's good at and the only thing she can make people proud of, but then that's turned on its head. Each book has 2 point of views, and I've loved all 3 characters that we followed, and I think this one, because it was a duology, I got to spend the most time asking the societal thematic questions that Nikki Drayden was putting forth, and I really appreciated that. That said, I would still think the endings were a little rushed for my taste. So what is the trend? I really love Nikki Drayden's societies and worlds and characters, but sometimes her endings are a little rushed for me, probably because she is asking such cool questions that are really hard to answer. And so it's really hard to, I think, wrap up the stories in a satisfying way because of what she is asking. And I'm really excited to see what she puts out next, because maybe one day she'll write the perfect book for me, because we are consistently in 4.5 star range with every book. And every book I can't put down once I pick it up, which is a phenomenal reading experience. Each of these books were books that I've always wanted to be reading. I cannot say that about every author. Not every author has that ability to just, when I pick up the book, no other book exists, I don't want to do any other hobby, I'm thinking about it while I'm at work. That's what these books are for me. And I love their page-turning quality. I kind of like that they're so weird and challenge me to think in weird and different ways. But I will say, because of that weirdness, there's some graphic depictions of gore and some body horror that can happen in these works. Like, this is such a fun blend of like light horror, sci-fi, and fantasy, and I don't see any other author doing it. And that's why I want to make this spotlight. If you're looking for an author to read this month, next month, whatever, and you need a quick book, you're just like, I need a filler standalone. Well, we got 2 standalones on this list, Temper and The Prey of Gods. If you want a quick duology, we're talking like 700 pages, the Escaping Exodus duology. And they will work for almost any prompts on a readathon because they cover so many genres. But this is my pitch. Read Nikki Drayden. They're beautiful books. I even have my copies here, so this is Symbiosis. I know I've been showing you the covers on the screen, but something I also love about the productions of the book is that they really have like pretty art. They have chapter headers. They have table of contents. So each of the books have really stunning art. Like, I don't know who her artist is. I should figure that out, but stunning. And like, no one talks about this book, but I think Temper is so cool. Like, it is such a cool idea. And the cover really makes sense. I just love these books. So let me know, have you read Nikki Drayden? What has and hasn't worked for you about her books? Are you going to read her? And if so, which one of the ones that I've listed do you think you'll pick up first? And that's it for this one. If you want to leave an emoji, leave something in space, because I talked about escaping Exodus, and like, I don't know, like something galactic. It can be like a star or a spaceship or a galaxy sort of thing. And like, if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.